I'm joined by Coach Scott McKenzie and new import player Mike Brodin. Gentlemen, nice to see you again.
Yeah, good to be here.
Good to see you.
Little chat basically for the Dragons fans so that we can catch up on where we are with the Dragons coming into this season. It's been a couple of weeks since we last spoke, Scott. You must be excited being the coach for second year running now at the Dragons, second year in the Model League. So what preparations have you been doing?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I've had a pretty good summer, just trying to take some time with my partner and get some time away from the ice rink, but it feels good to be back. We started practice on Tuesday, they're just gone, and you know what, the guys are flying, the guys are really excited to be back. It doesn't feel like we've been apart. We've got a really good nucleus, and you know, I'm excited to see what comes this year.
So of course you had a little bit more time with the guys this year than you did last time around, but it's second year in the Model League. It's going to be an interesting season, I think.
Yeah, like we've said all summer, it's going to be tough. It's going to be a really good league. There's the EPL teams have dropped down, and that's going to make it difficult for us. But again, I'm confident with the group that we have, and we just have to be realistic when we're setting our targets at the start of the year, and make sure that we don't kind of go into games, you know, with a negative attitude, and make sure we're positive, working hard, and stick to our plan every night.
So of course, Mike's a new addition to the team. You're the import player, of course. Mike, welcome to D-Side, first of all. I'm sure you're as excited to get on the ice as anybody else, as much as the Dragons fans are excited to see you in a Dragons shirt this year. Coming from the French Elite League to the NIHL, do you think there's much of a difference?
Yeah, I think the level is a bit different. The way of playing is a bit different as well. But I'm very excited to be here, and I had a good chat with Scott. I came last year to watch the last season game here against Solway. It was very interesting. I love the atmosphere, so I'm very looking for starting the season.
I'm sure all the Dragons are looking forward to it. We certainly are. It's one of the things that the fans will be aware of. They've got some up and coming fixtures. One of the friendlies, you've got the Ultimate Aces game coming up. What sort of, I assume that you've got your player selection pretty much rounded off now coming into these friendlies and stuff. Are we likely to see any more signings?
Yeah, I think we've got a couple more guys coming in. We're kind of, I want to announce some academy players as well. There's some young guys that really are pushing to make this team as well. And there's going to be a few guys pushing from the National League 2 team. So there is more announcements to come, but the main core is there. A lot of recognisable faces from last season and years gone by. But again, looking at those games against the Aces, I really wanted a challenge at the start of the season that, you know, we were 7th in our league and we're almost playing against the Blackburn Eagles Ultra Aces mix. And it's going to be a really strong team to play against and give us a real good challenge at the start of the year. So I'm looking forward to that. We're going to be missing a couple of guys because of holidays, pre-booked holidays and work and different things. But it's good to have that run out against that team and really, win, lose or draw. It's just about getting the game time and not really worrying too much about the result that weekend.
So most notably some of your recent signings and that you've had the likes of Matty Wainwright and of course Josh Richardson, of course Craig Lukovic as well from Blackburn that you signed as well. Defensive players, are we expecting a more defensive Dragons this year?
Perhaps. I think we need to, especially when we play the top end teams, we have to be a lot more switched on defensively and not, just give up easy goals. I think it's really important that we clog up the house and make it difficult for teams, especially in our rink. We can't be giving up, lots of goals at home. So I think defensively we want to be better, but it's not just our decor, it's our forwards and their netmind, and we have to be good as a group. We can't just expect our D to just pick up the puck all the time. It's got to be the forwards helping out. But we have added to our D group, but we've kept the main core, I think. And Matt Wainwright and Josh Richardson are two guys that really kind of fly under the radar with our fans a little bit. Josh especially he was like an unsung hero a little bit for us last year. He's a really good kid too.
So of course one notable thing this off-season has been the departure of Philip Super as well. And Philip was quite a pivotal player, played off himself quite a lot, and as an import he was quite useful at the Dragons. It's a shame to see him go down. He's gone to Chelmsford, I believe. But, are you looking to sign any more imports?
Well, the options there. It's just finding the right person. We don't just want to sign someone for the sake of signing someone. There's also the cost implications of that as well. For an ITC alone, it's around £1,000. So with the club going through the summer, we don't have any income. It's trying to find that money, and sponsorship isn't as fruitful as you'd like at this time of year. So the options are there for us. We just have to make sure it's the right person, and we're not just bringing someone in. I'm very happy with what I see in Mike. He's been on the ice with us a few times, and on Tuesday, he's big, solid, real strong guy, and I think the Dragons fans are really going to be impressed with him. And you know what, we wish Philip all the best. He's had a bit of a tough time in his personal life, and he's made a decision that's right for him, and we support that, and we never want to hold anyone back if they feel like they have to make that decision. So we wish Philip good luck.
I'm sure we echo that sentiment from the Dragons fans as well, and we wish Philip the best of luck in the future. Touching import players, of course, import players have always been something of a luxury with teams, and the Dragons have been fortunate in previous years to have some good, import players and that. Are you going to see a change this year, do you think, with the influx of all these Premier players? Do you think all these Premier players are going to flood the player pool, do you think?
In my opinion, imports are going to be, Sheffield got two really good imports, one of them known to us, and Adrian, they're like very, very good player, but Stanislav Lashek, he's led the EPL in points in years gone by, but I think I don't mean to take anything away from Mike, but it's not going to be about the imports, it's going to be about the Brits this year. There's some really, really good Brits in this league now. You got Jonathan Weaver, Rick Plant, Joe Miller. They're all good friends of mine, but really, really good players. And then you've also got Matty Davies, Jason Hewitt, and even guys that are going to be playing on a third line in Hull would walk onto a top line in most NHL teams from years gone by. So, it's going to be tough for us, and the Brits are going to be the guys that make the difference, in my opinion. And the imports will add to that, but I think you really see the Brits come to the forefront this year.
So one of the things that Dragons fans and all ice hockey fans love is the aggression, and I think we touched on the subject in the last interview we did with you about are we going to see a more aggressive Dragons team this year? Mike, you come with a bit of a reputation of being a bit of a fighter, is that right?
No, that's just a reputation, I used to be like a aggressive player, and I was always defending my players, on the ice. I think the most important for us is to work hard, to be aggressive, ice rink. I'm not a fighter anymore, I'm like 35. I've got a family. I'm too old for that, but I'd like to bring a lot to the team, and hopefully just the technical part and the aggressive, and just bringing some experience to the youngster of the team.
I was going to say I think the experience that you're going to bring as well is but it's one thing that a lot of the hockey fans love to see is the fight and the aggression in that, and I think your background and experience will help those players come on, and it's certainly going to be a fight this year, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be tough. We've said it all along with the teams dropping down, but like Mike says, we've just got to do our part and understand that the league we're in is hard, and we compete with the teams around us and really try and take points off the teams that were in NHL 1 last year, and if we can claim a scalp from an ex-EPL team, I would like to hope our fans will make a lot of noise that night.
So of course fitness is going to be a key part for this year, isn't it? I know you picked up a couple of injuries last year that, with you being off the ice, it's not a great thing to see one of your key players missing. What are the Dragons doing about fitness?
I think last year I took a sickness bug, and then I knocked to the shoulder or something, and it put me out. But I think this year we've started completely differently. From the first practice, we've had spin classes, we're doing off-ice circuits, and we're really putting the guys through the paces and looking to get a lot leaner team this year, rather than maybe we're a little bit sluggish at the start of the year. I think you'll see a different team come September, and myself personally, I feel good at the minute. I'm hoping that you're going to see a different Scott McKenzie on the ice as well. On a personal front, I wasn't particularly happy with my performance last year, so I'm hoping to be better myself. So I don't know what Mike thinks, but I think the guys have really bought into what we're trying to do this year.
Well, one of the other things that's most important here for the Dragons is the off-ice stuff as well. I believe that fans are keen about the season tickets and what's happening with the rink and stuff?
Yeah. So I mean, we've had a lot of changes throughout the summer, like ownership changes and different other things in the background, and things might have seemed a bit sluggish coming out, but people have holidays. We want some downtime as well. So I just want the fans not to worry about season tickets. Don't worry about on and loan. It is under control. We're dealing with it, and we will make contact with people in the not too distant future about that.
So of course we love the Dragons fans, don't we, because they're like the extra man on the ice, so it's all important that they get down to these friendly fixtures as well, especially the ones at the end of August.
Yeah, definitely. The more people we have coming through the door, the more we can support the players and try and help them out, and it just helps us down the line.
So Mike, we come to this part that we always do when we do these interviews, and obviously being new to these interviews, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions and you just got to give me your straight answers. These are things that the fans might want to know about you. So straight away, croissants or crumpets?
Definitely croissant. Yeah.
Why did we not guess that one? Garlic or gravy?
Garlic. Yeah.
It's going to stink in that dressing room, isn't it? DC or Marvel?
I'll go for Marvel. Yeah.
Country or rock?
Rock.
There you have it, Dragons fans. This has been Mike Brodin. That's been Scott McKenzie. I've been Gary Lee.